We are live.
Is this a different camera?
No, the angle, I had it set up for myself. I was recording a video and it's not more in the middle. So there's a bit of it's angled this way. So I don't want it. Anyway.
Okay.
There's people watching, babe. All right. We haven't done a stream in a while.
Yeah, I think it's been 4 or 5 weeks.
Really?
At least 4 weeks, I think.
Can you grab me more coffee, babe?
I put your coffee there.
Oh, that's yours. Okay.
I gave you a new mug, though.
Why?
Because it's gross to put it in the same mug.
It was a coffee I just had before. That's fine.
I know, but...
All right.
Anyway.
What are we talking about today? The lie of self-labels. So I asked you a question, I answered it myself.
How do we come up with this topic? Do you remember?
We were trying to decide between two. We had...
Roles?
Yeah, roles in a marriage or relationship. And there's a lot of people that resist roles. They want to be completely free. They don't want to have any responsibilities. They want to make it up as they go. And then there's also this one about labels, which is more self-labeling. Although you can label other people, but it's more about how you label yourself, your self-beliefs.
I remember I came up with roles because of the Whatever podcast. Because they go too extreme sometimes.
Oh, that's right. You're talking about how they're very black and white. Like some person like, no, your role is this.
Yeah, like on the conservative right side, sometimes they're like, okay, calm down a little, you know.
Well, this is the problem when people are trying to date, right? You're going there trying to have a conversation with someone and getting to know someone. But if you put this big wall of, yeah, I don't care who you are, you're a role for me, and you better fit into the role I expect. And it's almost like you don't actually care about listening to what words are coming out of their mouth and them describing to you their life and what they're into. It's like, no, you just need to cook and clean and pump out kids. And when I come home, you do this. And when you need this, I do that. It's all very mechanical.
Yeah, but that's more like the last few years, the manosphere going too far with stuff where they have these objective terms and they forget that the women are also people or something.
Yeah, but women are joining in it as well. They're on these podcasts. They're enjoying this kind of... I think they enjoy the drama and the catfighting.
Yeah. Well, that's why I watch it. I mean...
Yeah, but they're in it because they think they're really intellectual. They're almost like, you know, when you go to therapy one-on-one to work out these frustrations you have with the therapist. I think these people in groups, they get online on podcasts with microphones and they have a therapy session, but all it is reality TV.
Yeah.
But they think it's a actual legit therapy session.
You know what's really mean, though? Sometimes there are girls on there that kind of point out that, like, Brian and the men that are there on the podcast, basically they get these girls on to kind of say the same thing over and over again and to, like, have, like, a got you moment with them. And kind of make them look silly, right? And sometimes there are women on the podcast that kind of try to point that out. But because, especially I think Andrew Wilson, because they're so good at debating, they like flip it on them in a way. And it's, yeah, I don't know. It's not always nice.
Why can't I get a color profile I like, babe? Tell me.
Well, because you have too many.
You can never have too many color profiles.
You can never have too many donut options.
No. All right. Start us off while I organize this on the camera.
Well, you wrote down the difference between roles and labels. We had a little talk about that. I think the difference is very, very clear. And you thought it was less clear. And I guess that's because they can overlap. But to me, roles are basically just like responsibilities. Like when you get into a relationship, you're like, okay, what are you going to do? What am I going to do? It's just responsibilities in a relationship. Whereas labels, that's different. That's like how you see yourself or how you see other people. So I think that's the difference.
I'm just trying to find a... Sorry.
Trying to make us look more pretty.
Yeah.
This is kind of greenish. Have you guys seen that we're both in green? Yeah.
What about a retro look?
What's
I'm retro.
But this looks like weird.
Whoa, it's very bright. Look at my skin. Too. Whoa, very punchy. Too colourful. Looks like a mobile phone. Ooh.
It's dark. Yeah. Anyway, this must be so weird for the people watching.
All right, come on.
Next point.
Take the lead.
Is self-labeling the same as self-identity? Yes, I think so. Because the label that you put on yourself, that's basically like how you see yourself, which is about your identity, I guess. So I would say that's the same thing.
Yeah. Self-label, self-identity. I talk about this a lot. The way you speak to yourself and the conversation you have, it becomes automatic. It's the same as if you keep watching the same content all the time, whatever's in your feed, that becomes what you're into, how you respond, how you speak, how you talk to yourself, how you talk to other people. It's just this, but you have to get off it and decide like, no, I'm tired of this. Let me explore something else. Let me explore another label. Let me explore seeing things from another direction. If you don't, you just get into the comfortable habit of staying in the same label, same conversations.
Yeah, but I don't feel like that's something that people do.
I think they do it automatically.
Explore other labels.
Self-definitions, ways of speaking. Don't you think?
What do you mean?
Let me...
Just pick one, babe.
Yeah, I know.
Just pick one that looks okay.
Yeah, let me add a bit of...
Wasn't it fine in the beginning?
Yeah, that's all right, I think. Yeah, I'm just being pedantic.
I don't have a good eye for lighting stuff.
Yeah, I think the labels we have, especially the ones we pick for ourselves, can help us in times when we need it. Like, you know, you kind of motivate yourself with a label. Like you feel good about a label that you see yourself as and you speak it to other people. And in that way, you feel good about yourself. But then the other ways you stick with labels that keep you lazy. Like, oh, I'm not that kind of person. I don't do that. I don't like that. I don't eat that. I don't. And it's just easy. But you're not, you're always stuck in a very rigid place where you were always. It's kind of, you become stubborn, I guess. That's the word I'm looking for.
I think the danger of having a self-label can be that I think your brain always tries to be who you want to be or something like that. Like, if you think something about yourself, then your brain is always trying to get you to be that way because it wants to be consistent. So if you say to yourself, for example, like, oh, I can't do this thing, or like I'm like not social or whatever, then subconsciously your brain is gonna try to keep you there because your brain wants to be consistent with what you believe. I heard Tony Robbins talk about that once.
No, there's a lot of psychology behind that. Your brain, always on autopilot, if you're not thinking, will always default to who you were and what you thought yesterday. Because your brain is like, we're alive today because of how we were yesterday. So just keep doing the same thing. So whatever you're comfortable with today, if you're on autopilot, tomorrow you will just lean more in that direction. So yeah, it's a survival trait. Your brain wants you to stay the same because it's safe. Because you were the same yesterday. We're still here. We're breathing. Don't try anything new. Something new or a new way of looking at things or labeling yourself differently, it's like an unknown. You don't know what the results are going to be. But the label you had yesterday, you're fine. You feel okay. What's the problem? Just stay here. You're safe with that label.
Yeah.
What about labeling others?
Yeah, we do that too.
Yeah, but that's another example. Sometimes we think we label someone accurately, like, oh, they're just this. and then they kind of really surprise us, and we go, you know what, I was wrong. I really summed you up in this way, and like you kind of showed me, like, yeah, you're just not this person. You're actually showing me my label of you is different. And I think it's harder for us to do that ourselves. We really hold on to our labels, and we can't convince ourselves to change. But we can easily be convinced of someone else, because the other person, like, say for instance, you have a label at someone in your group when you get together with friends. They're always late. They're always late. And then you tell other people secretly, yeah, just wait. Bobby's going to be late. And then when you get there, I'm the first one there. Then everyone's like, well, that was bullshit. Like, it actually shows that the label is completely false.
Yeah. I guess they're very different in terms of effort, though, because with labeling someone else is basically just like an impression of someone else. But you don't really know if the label is true unless you actually get to know them. But that's like, there's not much effort involved. That's more like observing someone. But like with like self-labeling, there's a lot more going on there, because that's like about what you believe about yourself, and then sometimes you don't know that a label is bad for you, or you should change a label, and like there's a lot of going on there. So in terms of effort, they're like very different, I think.
Why do you think we resist it so much? Because there's some labels, like say we get frustrated in life. There's an area in life we're always frustrated, and our excuse is, yeah, but that's just the way I am. That's my label. And a person around you is just saying, oh, just try it this way. No, I can't. That's not me.
Because we want to be consistent with who we believe we are.
Or do you think we're just being lazy?
Well, also, that's probably also the case sometimes. But I think it's primarily because of that thing Tony Robbins said, that we always want to be consistent with who we believe we are.
Yeah, that's true. Although, don't you, like sometimes, like maybe I think of the moment where I am. If I'm feeling fearful, I realize it, and I don't want to feel afraid, and so I investigate, why do I feel fearful? Or if I'm in a situation that I'm consistent with the way I think I am, my label, but I don't like the results of it, you know? Like, I'm being consistent with my label that I believe about myself, but then I'm always not feeling good about it, or I don't like the results, or I don't like myself, or I feel ashamed of what I did, or again, I didn't say that, or I did say that, or I didn't do that. Why am I lazy? I wanted to do that, but I didn't do it again. You know, at some point, why don't more of us just say, yeah, I'm sick of this, or just...
Because I think you have to get to that point where you are actually sick of it, or you actually genuinely want to change.
Yeah, you want to throw the label away. It's like, fuck this label. Like, I was holding it like, oh, it's special. Like, I'm special. I've got this label. And then after a while, like, this is just bullshit. Like, you don't even want the label anymore. It's better not to have a label and have nothing.
Yeah, like if it's not really that bad, then it's easy to just go on living with that label. I think it's only, like I said, when things get really hard, or when you suddenly really want something else, then you become aware of the label and that it's not serving you anymore. And then you might want to change it.
It's happened to us a few times. It doesn't matter whether it's like fitness or anything, or it's just like the way of thinking, where we just do it for once. We have a moment where we just lower our label. Like the label's almost a barrier that like we protect ourselves with. We have moments where we just kind of lower the label, and then we do the thing, and we go, I don't know why I resisted that. Like why I put the label of myself. Like I don't know why I had this self-label of myself, and I lowered it for a second, and I just was curious enough to do something outside my label, and it just solved everything, or it's so much easier. Why am I so stubborn? You know, I know what you said about Tony Robbins, but you just keep showing yourself that don't hold too tightly about your label, unless it's something about survival. Like, you know, I'm someone that doesn't go too close to the edge of cliffs or jump out of a plane without a parachute. That's a pretty good label to have.
I guess you should always see a label kind of like as a description of yourself, but you always have to keep asking, is this label still correct? You have to challenge it from time to time to see if it's still correct.
If you're never feeling bad about it, I don't think you do. Otherwise, you're just trying to find problems for nothing. You know, if your life is good.
Yeah, I guess.
You know, like for instance, the good stuff in our life, the way we have labels about ourselves, the way you and I interact, and the things we like about our lives. I don't think it's healthy, or we spend any time going, you know what, let's reassess this, the good stuff. It's like, why? Like, it's working. We're never tripping over ourselves in those areas. So you don't need to reassess those labels. It's only when they start to kind of kick you in the butt and you're ignoring them, saying, no, this is my label. I don't care how much it's starting to annoy me. This is my label. It's almost like you're loyal to a label. Do you think that's it? Like you're overly loyal to a label?
Yeah.
And you don't want to be disloyal to it?
Yeah.
Yeah, it's stupid.
Yeah.
I don't know. What do you think of the look, babe?
Yeah, I like it.
What is this? Can you pick it off me like one of those monkeys in those documentaries? All right, next point.
Labels that we've put on ourselves. I'm curious about you.
Quite a few. But I have to admit, I've always been a person that's kind of curious. Like, I have definitions and labels about myself. But because I like having interesting conversations, I can't afford to be too rigid. Like, I feel like the color of life disappears if I'm too rigid on labels, even my own self-label. So when someone says, oh, maybe Bobby, you should this. Have you ever thought about this? I'll really listen and go, oh, that's actually interesting. Armored Ghost.
I wonder what the is up, bro.
He's just saying hello.
Armored Ghost, you left a really weird message that I didn't understand. Remember? Maybe we can pull it up.
Let's pull it up. Let's get the browser happening. Yeah. The self-label is to ditch a $3.50. You're worth much more than that. What the F is that, bro?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Yeah. What does that mean, Armored Ghost? I have no idea. I don't know. He'll probably say something, or maybe he won't. Do you have any labels that you've taken off yourself while I think of some of mine?
Yeah. Well, I used to be vegan, so that was a label I had. I was vegan a bunch of years ago for 3.5 years.
Yeah, you're a hardcore Karen vegan.
I was a little bit of a Karen vegan.
That's the way. That's not my words. It's your brother's description of you.
Yeah, I had a few angry discussions with a few people.
Yeah, I know it's a price tag, but what do you mean by the comment, though? The self-label to ditch a $3...
Oh, like we're saying we're worth $350. Like you're worth more than that.
When you have low self-esteem, like you don't really think you're worth much. Okay. All right.
Nobody stays vegan when they meet Bob.
Yeah, the smell of pizza and meat lovers.
Oh, that wouldn't have it's all about commitment. So that wouldn't have necessarily mattered. But I stopped being vegan because I got really annoyed. It was just a convenience thing. I got so annoyed that whenever I wanted like certain things, I had to order it on websites, and I couldn't just get stuff in the supermarket. It just started annoying me. So that's why I stopped.
What do you think the percentage, roughly, from the top of your head, being vegan and being in that community in the past, what do you think the percentages of people who get into veganism because of their sympathy for animal cruelty compared to health reasons?
Oh.
Which one's I would say that animal cruelty would be the biggest.
Yeah. That's the biggest reason,
Yeah.
I would say.
What would you say? What's the percentage, roughly, you'd say?
Wow.
Like when you were in there, like the people, the conversations that you were having, what were most of the conversations about? Was it about the health benefits of veganism was the main thing? Or was everyone like really, really
No, the biggest thing would be for the animals.
Yep. Okay, that's what I
That's
thought.
probably like 80% or something. But I think with veganism, that was really like a phase. You know, it was like years ago it started up, then it was like super strong for a few years, and then after that we got all those I'm no longer a vegan videos, one after the other. So it was like a phase, I feel like.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
Interesting. I don't. Yeah, I used to label myself as a MGTOW a while ago, as well. That was a label I proudly wore back when it was something else, when the people that were in the community were very different, and it's kind of changed since. So that was a label of mine. I remember I used to think of myself more as a antisocial person. But then I started to objectively but I don't have any problem going to barbecues. I don't feel anxious. I can talk to most people if they're reasonable. Then I started to do live streams, and like when I was making my YouTube channel and filming myself, it's like not only don't I avoid it, I enjoy I enjoy conversation. Like I'm not antisocial. I'm just selectively social. So I had these convenient black and white. I think black and white definitions and labels feel really good because you're making sense of the world. It's like, okay, this makes sense. It's black and white. There's no gray, and you feel like tick clear. It's like having perfect glasses, like perfect vision. There's no blurriness to it, you know?
Yeah.
So, yeah, I've had quite a few little moments where the definitions and labels were perfect, and then things change, people come in and blur the lines.
I didn't know you saw yourself as antisocial.
Much more antisocial. Not antisocial, kind of like... very much like a homebody, and I just thought homebody, antisocial. You know, you try and make it black and white, you just throw in words that suit you, and they're very extreme words, very definite words with no room for error.
I think sometimes you also just put a label on yourself because you're in a certain phase or in a certain situation, and it just makes you feel better. You know, because I used to say that I'm not social while I've been here. Like, I've changed my mind about that now.
That's another label.
Yeah, but when I think back to when I was in Holland, I was never antisocial. I was always social and out with people and stuff.
Okay. Grammatically, or sorry, the word incorrect, not antisocial, but not social. I just didn't think I was a naturally social person. More accurately, I'm not gregarious. You know, I don't derive my energy from being around people. My batteries don't get filled up being around people. I enjoy it for a short period of time. My battery gets filled up being on my own, at home, being a homebody with one, maybe two people, but mainly one-on-one. So, and I just thought, well, I'm not social. I'm not a social person. I'm antisocial. My life is better away from people.
Yeah, I think it's... because I do recognize myself that I wasn't social often, and I recognize the battery thing also all my life. But I think it's more about being selectively social. Like, you're able to be social in certain situations with certain people easily, like I was. But then, like, I found it hard to be social with, like, when I felt like an outcast or something. Like, sometimes it's not always easy to socialize, like, with strangers and stuff.
Yeah, it's just easier to be not social when you feel awkward in a situation and there's no time, you have to fix it. It's just better to retreat. It's just easier not to do anything and to sink back. Boffin says, I think we understand and navigate the world using a set of stories we collect in our mind. Yeah. Story about yourself, about your life, about excuses, about your own label. We learn them through experience interacting with the world, and we also make some up. Yeah. I think we make a lot of them up to justify ourselves rather than, for instance, trying again. So if you failed in a certain area or you're frustrated, you keep hitting a wall, it's easier to find a convenient excuse to label yourself, well, it's not my fault I keep hitting the wall. I don't have to find a solution. I can just make an excuse with a label and sit right where I am.
Yeah, and that's actually where I was going earlier. I forgot. Like when I was talking about the social thing, like in Holland, I was in a way, I wouldn't have described myself as like a very social person per se, but I did have people I hung out with and stuff. Mm-hmm. But when I came here, I put a label of not social on me because I just wanted to have a life with you basically, and not have to worry about being social, I guess. And it only changed like when we got back from Spain, but it changed because I got a desire to want to be social. I feel like when we came back from Spain, and that's when I questioned it. I questioned the label, you know. And now I'm like, no, I can't. I still wouldn't say I'm like a super social person, but that I'm not social, that's not true. That was like a false label. Now I would say I can definitely be social, and I enjoy being social.
See, that's interesting because I remember that moment, because you've had moments where you came back from Spain and you just had this desire to want to be more social, to be more family oriented, like to kind of not just be like in your own little bubble, just you and me, but just kind of like enjoy your own life, not just within these walls of our home. Sometimes, like, I think, is it more that you just had a natural desire to want this thing, but sometimes you want it in reaction to something? Because I remember there's been times that you wanted to be more social because you missed your family, and sometimes you want to be social because you want something else, you know? Sometimes it's a reaction to something, you see the contrast, and sometimes you just see something you want over there and you want it. It's not compared to this, it's just you see a target and you want it. And sometimes it's like, you're comparing the two. I want that. Do you know what I mean?
I think, can you take that down? I think with the social thing, it was about seeing my mom and my sister, and especially my sister, how bubbly she is and how much fun she's having moving to Spain and stuff. And them having each other kind of as girlfriends and stuff. And it just made me remember like how nice it is to have a family and to have friends and to have fun. And it just made me want to have all those things that when I came here first, I think I kind of shut myself off from that a bit.
Yeah, you felt like you didn't really need it. I remember you were saying, no, I came here for you, Bobby. I don't want anything else.
Yeah, but now I'm like, no, I want to have like girlfriends and I want to have fun and, have more relationships and
well, tonight's
stuff.
An example. You're going to dinner with your work colleagues.
Yeah, that's going to be fun.
Whereas, see, you're looking forward to it. Whereas before, I'd say in a year, you would have avoided it. You would have tried to get out of it. You probably wouldn't have been bothered. Yeah,
with the last year there was one as well, and I didn't go to that one.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. Yeah, so I think so that is an example of where my desire changed. Like I got a desire to be social, and that's why I questioned my own label and changed it. Yeah, so I think something has to happen to make you question the label or want to change it. Yeah, or else it's not, you don't really notice it if everything seems fine.
And there's moments also you get surprised because there's been a few moments where you've just naturally had a great time. We've gone out, we've, visited my family, we've had dinner, and you just had such a fun time and joked around. And then in the drive home, you said a few times like, why do I keep saying I'm not social? That was a lot of fun. And it's like, no, you're selectively social, especially if you enjoy having interesting conversations about certain things. You don't just have, your batteries don't get filled up by just having chit chat about the weather and making up conversations about politics and all that stuff. You like having personal conversations. And then when you have those, when you have a good time with people and you relax and your guard is down, you realize that wasn't hard work. I'm not that antisocial, So sometimes you surprise yourself when you just let go and a moment accidentally shows you that like, nah, my label doesn't, like, it's not true. I just had a good time. It contradicts my label.
Yeah, but even then, it really has to do, it's really about how open you are to something, I think. Because I wasn't really open to being very social. And then when there's a really nice moment, then it's like, oh, that was really nice, but it's like, it's a one-off or something. But now that I'm open to it and I actually want it, like I want to move towards it, everything is good. Like at work as well, I'm having so much fun.
But do you think that's an excuse when you're still holding on to your label too tightly? So, no, you're stubborn. It's like, no, I'm antisocial. And I'll say, but babe, you just had a good time. Yeah, but that was a one-off. I'm still antisocial.
Yeah.
So then,
yeah. And that's where it can be bad. Because you want to be consistent with your label, I'm not social.
Yeah.
Despite evidence that you can have fun.
Yeah, so you got to, unless you get to a point like, well, like you talk to yourself like moron, do you want to have more happy times or do you want to stubbornly hold on to this label like a child holds on to a toy for security? Like, let go, dude, relax. Nothing's going to hurt you. Yeah, if the label's true, it's true. You don't like hanging around these people, but you don't have to hold on so tightly that you negate even exposing yourself to opportunities. Like, you know? Yeah, it's a tricky thing.
Yeah. Let's read some comments.
Cameras fill up humans' batteries. Human in turn fills up cameras' batteries. That is true.
That's a creative sentence.
I recharge cameras' batteries. I fill up cameras with batteries that are recharged by me.
I just had a thought. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I know it.
We are so in sync.
I think the problem comes for some when there are wrong stories in their story library collection. Yeah, and they're easy stories to bring up. Think about vocabulary, right? I notice myself when I'm talking. I make videos, I do streams. There's certain phrases that are just easy for me to explain what I'm feeling, right? They're sentences. They're like memes. And I think our stories and beliefs are similar. So we have these really comfortable, automatic beliefs and labels. In the same way we have little phrases that are automatic too. We don't want to change the way, if you want to say, I'm thirsty, there's probably a way you say it that's slightly different to me. And you don't want to redo it because it works. And I think it's the same with our stories that Boffin said, or our labels. And there's no reason to change it. But yeah, it's... And you don't want to be neurotic as well. You don't want to be sitting there in the moment rethinking everything all the time like a nut job. All right, Brakir and Karu are just having fun. Any comments like Boffin's?
Brakir, we had pizza last night.
Yes.
Really delicious pizza.
Where did he mention pizza? Pizza. Ah, here. He did. Getting pizza right now. Suffer human. I'm not suffering that much because I had pizza last night. So the ambient remnants are still here, dude. So
And I'm going to have sushi tonight with my colleagues.
that's a food.
so
See,
good.
sushi for you. You really love sushi. I don't get that in the same way you don't understand when I enjoy fruit salad.
Oh my God. That's like diamonds and like dirty petals.
What?
That's like so like...
Yeah, but sushi's almost a health food. I'm not talking the deep fried stuff, but everyone, nigiri and, rice and raw fish, like it's pretty...
The very low calorie sushis.
But that's what everyone thinks of when they think of sushi. California rolls, nigiri, like raw tuna, very raw rice. It's very clean and very healthy. That's
if you pick those options.
But don't you think everyone thinks of those things when they think of sushi?
No.
Really?
At least I don't.
I think I'm right on this. Does everyone think of those basic things when they think of sushi? Raw tuna on the little square of rice, California rolls, and like maybe dipped in soy sauce.
I think people that never go and eat sushi, they think of raw fish. But people who actually go to restaurants like all you can eat sushi, they'll know that there's a lot of other stuff on the menu.
Sure. But it's like, okay, when you think of McDonald's, what do most people think of?
Big Mac.
There you go. Big Mac fries. Shake,
Yeah.
maybe. Yeah, but what about the
McFlurry.
coffee and the cookies? And it's like, yeah, but people don't think of that.
Yeah.
Don't become one of these woke people. Yeah, but don't stereotype.
Ew, sushi. The most pretentious BS fruit outclassed them. Oh my god, Karu. Seriously, you don't like sushi? I love
It's
sushi.
one of the few times she disagrees with you, Caro.
Yeah, sushi's like one of the best. I was saying this yesterday to a colleague, like, or someone, or did I say it to you? Like, I love sushi so much, but we don't often go and eat sushi. It's really weird. We have to go and eat sushi more. I think of cat food wrapped in seaweed. Oh my god.
It's funny because it's kind of true.
No!
Well, when you look at the, like, I like the tuna, you know, the tuna roll, like a cucumber and tuna and mayo.
Yeah.
What's that? Like the little tube.
A tuna roll.
Yeah, whatever. That's nice, but it's kind of the consistency it looks like.
Karu.
Yeah, he doesn't eat any kind of fish.
Boo.
Yeah, but Karu likes a lot of the very...
Yeah, but that's another thing. But when you say sushi, and then people think of fish, but there's like a bunch of other meats there. There's like chicken, there's beef. There's are two.
Okay. Ooh, beer and pizza. Well, I would replace the picture of the beer with the can of Pepsi Max.
I think beer is gross. But I'm a girl, so that makes sense, maybe.
Well, yeah, I've never drank, but objectively speaking, it is most popular drink amongst
Yeah, I don't know
actual
why
men.
people like it. They always give, anytime I've drunk beer, they've always given me a headache.
Well, in Australia, the colloquial term for beer is piss because it smells like it.
Does it?
Kind of.
It just tastes gross.
Like when you drink warm beer, no one drinks warm beer, they drink cold beer. But when you drink it warm and smell it warm, it doesn't taste much different to when you urinate it out. as
Yeah,
well. So, and it looks like it too.
that's gross.
It looks like urine.
No! I hate it when he says it like that. Fruit salad sushi. I don't go to eat sushi to eat fruit, okay? I go to eat sushi.
I don't think he means that.
Well, what do you mean?
How do we get onto sushi from labeling yourself?
I label myself as a sushi lover. I'm a food lover.
Actually, that's a good segue. I used to not like sushi. I hate sushi. And
Yeah.
then I remember in my 20s, my first serious relationship, went to a sushi restaurant because she wanted to go to one, either with friends, we were invited or something. And then I was like, okay, let me try this. Like, just for a joke. You know when people say, here, try this, it tastes like shit. I was like saying that to myself, let me try it for a joke. And I tried, I was like, it just tastes like health food. It doesn't have any flavor. And then with the wasabi and stuff, it's like, actually, this isn't bad. And it was the same with coffee. I don't like coffee
Wow.
because it tastes bitter. And then after a while, socially, you loosen up. And then you say, okay, I can see a bit of what everyone else sees.
I feel like if you're in a sushi restaurant and your response to eating sushi is, oh, this isn't bad, I feel like I want to fucking kick you out of the restaurant. Like,
Why are women
You
so
don't deserve to
Why
be
are
in
women
here.
so violent? I've noticed this with women. Their reaction to loving something is violence.
yeah?
Well, guys' reaction to loving something is just loving it.
Yeah,
It's
but-
like if someone asks you like, "Oh, do you love Bobby?" Yeah, I'd fucking kill anyone.
But there's a difference between violence and I'm obviously saying something like I'm exaggerating.
Yeah, I know, but this reaction I've noticed over and over again. It's funny.
No, but it's like when something is like so high up, it's so good, and then your reaction is like, it's not bad. I'm like, fucking get out of here. Like, give me the sushi. You don't deserve it. That's what I want.
I never understood sushi. It's just raw, like it's stupid.
It's delicious.
Yeah, until I tasted it, I was like, yeah, it's okay. And then you taste like a combination. Like, I think it's the combination of like wasabi and then salty, like the really extreme salty.
I don't know. I think it's you've got the rice, you've got whatever meat is in there, you've got the salty soy sauce, It's like orgasmic. It's delicious.
I would rate Chinese food better though. And Chinese food is another one I didn't like growing up. And it's a cultural thing. My parents never liked it. You know, they're Balkan, Eastern European, and Asian food's very foreign. McDonald's is very foreign. My dad hated McDonald's.
Wow.
I never understood it. And so there's a cultural difference between it. So, yeah,
Well-
there's that too. And then if you're open enough to try it and you go, you know what? My label of this has changed. Like,
Oh.
it actually tastes really good. I'll give you
I hurt my neck.
I'll give you a Steven Seagal.
No. Oh my god. No, I love Chinese food too. But I think sushi is just. I think it's because I love salt.
Mm-hmm.
And sushi is like really salty with the soy sauce, and it's like just like explosive. That's why it's so good.
Yeah, you just like extreme sweet and extreme salt.
Yeah. Steph has a fat man soul. Yes, when it comes to food, she's very American. Yeah, I love American food as well.
The first, she couldn't wait, aside from me, the second thing you couldn't wait to experience in Australia was the supermarkets.
Yeah, because they are a little bit more American than Holland.
Yeah, like a whole aisle devoted to chips.
Yeah.
A whole aisle devoted to soft drinks and soda.
Although I am disappointed that you guys don't have Wendy's.
We
I
used
wish
to.
you had Wendy's.
We used to. You're about a decade late. They kind of closed down.
I should have met you a decade ago.
Yeah, I wouldn't object to that.
Sashimi is the raw fish. Yeah, I know. Yeah, I usually don't have those. I love the rolls. All the rolls with the shrimp, with the chicken, with the tuna. I love those things. I know we don't have paprika chips here. That's like so horrible. We have it in Holland. It's delicious. Avocado maki is also really good. Oh my god, I remember when I was in Hawaii. We went to eat sushi, me and a friend of mine back then. They have like the biggest, fattest sushi rolls with avocado. And the avocado is like so fresh, it's like butter, it melts in your mouth. Oh, it was the best sushi I've ever had.
What's this bullshit? I'm looking up types of sushi, right?
Yeah.
There's California roll. There's Philadelphia roll. What the hell
Where?
is Philadelphia roll?
With Philadelphia in it, I presume. Yeah, with a bit of the cream cheese in there.
And
That'd be good.
That's kind of. That sounds like
Yeah, because that's the
an
cream cheese.
Americanized thing. It's kind of like a pizza, Hawaiian pizza with pineapple. You like it. It tastes okay, but traditionally it's kind of like it's a westernized version.
You know, my favorite roll is the shrimp tempura roll. That's my number one favorite roll.
No, my favorite is the nigiri, California.
Oh, really?
Uramaki, what's that? Maybe I don't like it. I don't know what's in that. But basically California rolls and nigiri are my two favorites. Not shrimp, just tuna and salmon. Actually, salmon, not tuna.
Garu.
Yes, this is true.
Get out of here, Garu.
We don't have
I accept them into the sushi-dom. Sushi-dom.
What do you know, Karu? You don't even eat it.
We don't have paprika chips either. Yeah, that's so stupid because they're so good. But I guess I have a barbecue here, which is okay.
Yeah, I think Australia and America have a similar kind of male barbecue kind of culture, social culture. And the barbecue flavor already has paprika in it with some other herbs. So it's kind of like, well, you got paprika with pepper in it and shit like that. But I do miss paprika chips. That's probably the one food I miss. You probably miss more, like, snack bar. And
Oh,
things like
yeah. I would say snack bar I miss the most from Holland.
That I grew to like it. I didn't see the big deal when you first introduced me to snack bar. Look up Dutch snack bar. It's
really good. I love it.
Yeah, it's okay. Good fries. Anyway, what else? Have we discarded labels? We've talked about that. The need for black and white labels to feel secure and clear. Sure.
Just because I don't eat it doesn't mean I can't educate myself so I can be more accurately offensive. Well, I guess that's true. But if you don't eat it, you don't know. Have you ever tried it?
Maybe he has. He doesn't like it. Yeah, there's a saying. They used to say this about marriage in the manospheres. The saying is, I don't need to be punched in the face to know that it's not a good idea or something. You don't need to experience the thing to have an accurate opinion.
I think that's the appeal from authority fallacy or something. Like you don't have to be the thing to have an opinion about the thing. Yeah. I've heard
it's
that.
kind of like you're being bullied by authority. Like, don't you know this is the truth? It's like, well...
No, it's like if you have an opinion about teaching, I say to you, you can't have an opinion on that because you're not a teacher. That's the appeal
it's kind
from
of like
authority.
People who's like, you can't have an opinion on children because you don't have kids.
Yeah.
Yeah, well, I can have an opinion on having my ears bleed because of your kids screaming and their behaviour. I can have an opinion on their behaviour. No, you can't because you don't have kids.
No, I don't try stuff that I don't think I'll enjoy when it comes to food. I'm very close-minded when it comes... Oh, actually, I am like that too. Anything I don't know or looks weird or funky, I'm not going to try it. No, I'm like that too.
There's been a few times where you've surprised yourself, but that's happened more accidentally, or when you've had a moment, like a piece of food that you didn't, and you just kind of tried it. That's what I mean when I said before, you have a moment where you lower down your label and your stubbornness and you try something, you go, either it's not too bad, or you go, actually, this is really good. Why did I resist this before?
Yeah, but then it's something that's kind of normal, but I might just not think I'll like it or something. But I think he's more so talking about like weird shit or...
You know something you don't like doing that I do, and I think it's mainly a guy thing. Guys will go, oh my God, this tastes like shit, here, try it. And guys will try something just for the fun of, let me taste how awful this is. But you're like, no, like I'm never trying it.
No.
Even for a joke, you don't want to taste how funny it is.
If it tastes bad, why would I want to try it if I know it's going to taste bad?
I know, but yeah, I think it's a guy thing.
But I did try Vegemite.
Yeah, but you thought you might like it because it's very salty.
That's true.
I thought you might like it.
But I'll never try, like, in Asian countries, they've got all this weird shit that's like alive and stuff when you eat it, like octopus and stuff. I'll never try that weird shit. No. No, that's creepy.
Some would say sushi.
I also really wouldn't like it if you tried it.
Like octopus and
like
stuff?
Like a live... Sometimes they eat like a live octopus or something.
No, alive stuff, no.
It's so
but
creepy.
I have that about some Chinese food where they kind of deep fry chicken feet and all that. Like basically they eat every part of the animal. Things like when people make brains and even liver to a certain degree, although I can have liver depending on how it's cooked. Because there are health benefits and it doesn't taste too bad depending on how you cook it.
I think it's also about what you're used to. Because like if someone said...
Well, not like shit.
Oh my God, Karu, fuck off. Oh my God. If you would ever eat that, oh my God, I would get so mad.
Really?
Yeah.
Yeah, she has this thing about the mistreatment of like pets, like cats and dogs and stuff.
Who doesn't have a thing about that? Yeah.
I remember a little while ago we were at a family member's house and they were mistreating their one of their pets a little bit, but in a jokey way. They did it for a split second and you really got annoyed.
They grabbed them by the neck. Yeah, I hate it when people do that because I'm always like, you're not their fucking mom. Like, you can just pick it up normally. You don't have to do that.
Yeah, but they don't, it doesn't hurt them though.
Yeah, maybe. I just don't like the look. Because
I've seen animal trainers, when a dog or a cat is out of control, when you grab it, especially a cat, you grab it by the back of the head. There's something in it that just calm down.
Yeah, okay, maybe if they're like fighting or something. But if they're just like sitting, minding their own business, like you don't have the right to do that. You're not their mom. I don't like it. Yeah, obviously I would never eat frogs.
If you're French, You grew up with them.
Oh, wait, that's what I was just gonna say. It's also about what you grew up with, because like if someone offered me like a piece of like cooked liver, I'd be like, ugh, gross. I wouldn't eat it. But like like liver pate, the pate, we did grow up with that in Holland.
So did I. Yeah.
So it's really delicious.
Yeah, that's an Eastern European trait. The cuter the animals are, the more triggered women get if someone eats them or mistreats them. Yeah.
Yeah, I have only 2 things left from veganism that I don't want to eat. One of them is I don't drink like regular milk. We always get like almond milk or something because of the like 1 drop of pus per glass that I learned about, which just grosses me out. And the other thing I still won't eat is like lamb, because I saw how they're like kept in those like little like dog houses almost.
So are chickens.
I know, but like for some reason that really stuck with me. And then they kill them.
Lamb is my favorite tasting.
Yeah, and they taste so good because they don't let them move. So the muscles are very tender.
We're eating them anyway.
Oh my God, that's what students used to say.
Yeah, it's kind of like, well, this is more ethical. Well, this is halal. It's like you're eating it anyway. You're eating an animal. Like you can wrap it around this kind of justification, like, but it's this.
I don't understand how people can use that logic. It's like so dumb.
Yeah.
Like, we're killing them anyway, so we might as well eat them. Like, don't you understand that if people stop eating them, we're going to stop selling them and slaughtering them?
Yeah, I know, but people won't stop. It's kind of...
No, but if...
Yeah.
Then. But they're like, but they're killing them anyway, so we'll eat them. It's like so dumb. Like we're eating them because they're killing them.
Well, it's the same with like women who love shopping. It's kind of, your leather bag comes from this and stop buying it. Yeah, but they're in the store anyway, so I might as well buy them. It's like, yeah, but you have to stop buying them in order to stop killing animals. But can't someone else not buy the bags? I still want to buy them. I still want to eat the burgers. But can you all stop killing animals?
Yeah. I know. No, I don't eat rabbits. There are a lot of animals I won't eat. Like, I won't eat...
Yeah, the cute ones.
Not all the cute ones. Sometimes it's out of respect. Like sharks. Sharks are like badass. I don't eat sharks. I don't eat...
Flake is awesome.
I don't eat kangaroos. Because what the fuck?
You've eaten flake. You have.
Yeah, but by accident.
No, and then you tried it again. You knew it was... Remember when we
Only one time. Hypocrite. Yeah, okay, one time. But I won't eat it again.
Yeah.
And I don't want to eat kangaroo. Or bunnies.
Shark flake fish and chips is amazing.
I didn't really think it was that good, though.
It's awesome. 10 out of 10. Best fish, I think. Shark.
I remember when I was younger in school, I would always do presentations about sharks because I thought they were so cool.
If dinosaurs were around...
Dinosaurs are awesome.
What if their meat tasted awesome?
Well, people would see what tastes good and then sell them, of course, yeah.
Bronto burgers. That was in the Flintstones, I think. All right. When is labeling yourself a good thing? Like motivational labeling. To help yourself get out of like, I'm sick of what I used to do.
Like we go to the gym. We are into fitness. That kind of labeling is good.
Yeah, recently, the last couple of weeks. Or, if you can never get the book done, you label yourself an author. No, I'm a writer. Rather than, me, I'm just trying to write a book, cross my fingers. But if you actually fake your way in a motivational way that all it does is help you, then I think that's a way to kind of motivationally label yourself. Changing an old pattern of behavior to be able to achieve the things that you can't achieve because you have this limited self-belief. It's a way of pushing you to have more past the limit.
Yeah.
I eat healthy now. You know, when you make a decision, like, oh, I'm trying to eat healthy. Like, nah, I just eat healthy now. I don't eat that shit. I'm not the person that does that anymore. You know, you when you make a decision like, this is me now, and I'm actually going to state it and believe it. Not, I'm going to try. I'm going to try and eat less of that. I'm going to try to do less of that. I'm going to hope I can do more of that. I hope I'll be motivated. No, I am this person now.
Yeah, although that has to coincide with commitment. Because just labeling yourself isn't necessarily going to
Well,
help.
if you turn up to the thing and just do the thing and act in accordance to it, then you'll see the evidence of it behind you, like you did it yesterday, you did it the day before, and then your labels becomes real. It is, you're doing it. The moment you do it once or twice in a row or whatever, it becomes reality, and it's just a matter of keeping it up.
Yeah.
What are labels we're working towards?
Well, my social thing is going really well, so that's fine. I think one other label I have is that I'm a control freak.
Yes, you say that quite often.
Yeah, but that's like, it is accurate because I am, but I am also aware that it would be good for me to practice letting go more and like not having to control so much.
I think you're less of a control freak and more mildly autistic about things.
Well, that's true. Yeah. Yeah.
Well, I'm working towards getting back into shape again.
We both are.
Yeah.
We are going to the gym.
I've been a little bit fappy these last couple of years since we got married.
Yeah, we're going to the gym 4 days a week now. Yeah.
I can hear his
Oh,
laugh.
you didn't read that yet?
No. Brick here, every time I jump on a chat, he goes, "It's human. He has a life force." Yes.
I am 100%
No, you're not.
crazy. No kidding. I'm 100% woman. Oh my God, you guys, if you ever watch the Whatever podcast, let me know in the chat.
You sound like someone who watches it. Oh my God, guys. Like
I watch
whatever.
it all the time. I love it. It's like entertainment to me. I love the drama and the craziness.
Like whatever. Oh my God, yeah. Like.
But if you watch that, right, let me know in the comments if you notice how many times these women use woman for plural women. It annoys the crap out of me.
They use the word woman
Yeah.
for plural.
Like there's one woman in the room
So
and there's 10 women in the room.
Give me an example of what they would say.
Like, oh my God, all these women have blah, blah, blah.
Ah, that's that ghetto speak. I can't stand it when you hear basketball players and stuff. They just bastardize the English language.
Yeah, but it's so stupid. It sounds retarded. Like, don't you know the plural of woman?
You sound stupid. Yeah, you do.
It's so annoying.
It doesn't sound cool. It sounds stupid.
Yeah.
Like, I'm saying the word like as well. But when you start omitting words especially, I've noticed that in the UK, you know that that's sort of like the districts that are poorer. England, well-spoken English from the UK is beautiful. But then you've got the areas where it's almost like an act of defiance. No, I'm going to be lazy with that language because I don't give a shit. I'm not going to talk like the people in charge. I'm going to talk over here. And they really are lazy with the language. They start dropping words. Like in America, they say important. They've dropped the T in important. And it's like, stop getting lazy with your vocabulary.
Yeah, but I don't know where that comes from, the woman-women thing, because it's not like one kind of like demographic that uses it. Like different women use it.
It's the social media online ghetto. It's become like they start using words now like anyways.
That's fine to me.
But that's only come about in the last 7 to 10 years online. Anyways, it's like it's not anyways, it's anyway.
Oh, that I've said that.
That's common, but it sticks to me because I remember a time where no one said that. It was stupid. People would correct you. It's like women and woman. Anyways, anyway. Why are you adding S to the end? It's stupid.
I think that doesn't bother. That's more like just like.
It's more acceptable for you. You're younger, but for me, it really sticks
but
out.
I mean that's not what it's like with women. It bothers me because it's like it's a noun, and it's like incorrect. It's like if you have one dog and then you have 10 doggen or something, and that's how you use the plural of dogs. Like it's wrong. Like in the dictionary, it's wrong. Like I don't. Well, actually, not. It's pronunciation, but it just annoys me. Steph is wrong. Women that speak and look like that are exactly what the average Manispherian would date. That's why they have the big sub numbers. What am I wrong about then? I said there's different type of women that say it wrong, like white, black, from different backgrounds. That's what I was saying.
It's actually incorrect. It's objectively incorrect.
What's incorrect?
Like the way you pronounce it. You might say people pronounce things incorrectly and then it becomes common. So then it's like there's no big deal. But it doesn't matter. Just because everyone starts pronouncing things incorrectly, it doesn't make it correct. Everyone's just agreed, no, it's no big deal now. We can just pronounce something incorrect and people know what I mean.
Yeah, but what am I wrong about? I don't understand.
Yeah, I'm not sure exactly either about why they have the big sub numbers. Yeah, I guess the guys don't care. They'll never pull... They won't pull women up on incorrectly saying woman and women in the same way they won't pull them up with anything when they go on a date. They'll let the other person be wrong and incorrect and they won't say anything. So it's not just women.
Well, if I was on that podcast, I would constantly be correcting them.
Bottom line, there's a lot of incorrect things about those women.
Because it's attractive, it doesn't matter if it's wrong. But I don't find it attractive. I find it stupid.
Yeah, they think it's cool, like saying important. Or, yeah, anyway.
What am I wrong about, though? Could you explain?
I hate
Kari?
it when I get so invested in talking about stupid people and I catch myself and then it's like, I'd rather just, I don't know, talk about this cup.
Or food.
You should get a tattoo that says food is life.
Ooh, that would be awesome.
That would...
Well, if I would get another tattoo, it would probably be your name.
See, every RP guy out there would say, because you've even got one tattoo, you're for the trash pile. You're not a real, like a high-value woman.
Well, I guess I'm trash. I'm trash. That's why you don't date them, and the guys on Fresh and Fit do. Yeah, but...
I know that's technically right. Language changes. We're not going to speak like we did in the 1800s.
Yeah, but language shouldn't always change. I mean, you can add language. I'm fine with that. But language, it shouldn't be easy for language to change.
I think the rate at which the changes happened, especially in the last 10 years, everything has changed so much. The internet, the speed of everything, that you've got multiple generations that just, it's impossible to adapt because your understanding how you speak, how people relate, it sets. And then when you get to middle age and after, you can't relearn and be comfortable with just dumber ways of doing things and dumber ways of speaking and dumber ways of thinking. Like, I know they're doing it this way, but it's like when I've learnt to draw or write beautifully, and then everyone's kind of just writing like a monkey and while everyone's doing it like that. Yeah, but this is better. This is more efficient. This is clearer. It's like, I know language changes, but I can and do remember where it was better, and I can objectively do it better. I can communicate better. Well, times change. Yeah, but you're still a retard.
Yeah, I don't know. I mean, I don't mind people getting dumber and like having a more simple vocabulary, but I do mind it when they make those very obvious mistakes, like where it's just wrong.
Yeah, but Kari mentioned, like, these are the kind of girls that guys go for, and vice versa. So they're all using the same lingo. They're as weird and ghetto as each other. They're as silly and lacking of impulse control and not able to communicate, so they deserve each other. They're going to have all these problems that us and our grandparents never had because they're not as civilized and they don't care about speaking well and things like that. So they deserve each other. That's why you don't date them and the guys on Fresh and Fit do. Yeah, exactly. I often I know it's popular. You look at the most popular dating channels on YouTube, and it's all the kind of women and men you wouldn't even have as a friend or you wouldn't date. But that's the most popular thing. And the most popular thing is what most of society's like. So all the dating age, that range, that's what they're pretty much like. They're into that. They want to date those people. They want to have those conversations.
Yeah, well, that's their business, but it just annoys me.
I'm Gen X.
Are you the old man?
Yeah, I'm the old man. I'm not a boomer. I'm Gen X. I think Gen X is 1967 to 1980. Boomer is 1967 and below. Yeah. Do I make you feel young, Boffin? Do I make you feel young? Yeah. The funny thing is, I've noticed before I turn 50, I look back on videos. I don't notice much of a difference, but when I cross 50, I notice my age when I look at photos and videos of myself. It's the first time I really saw the line before and after.
Yeah.
Anyway, what else I think we've said everything we wanted to say about labels.
What labels are we working towards?
Well, on my channel especially, I'm working towards just talking and creating, and just in my own personal projects, whether it's art or written or video, is making the things that I'm interested in, and just not staying away from the easy bullshit that can fuel you. You know, negative videos, battles you don't need to fight. Because before, my label was like, you fight this and you fight politics and this isn't fair. And now it's like, I don't want to fight anymore. I just want to enjoy as much as I can. I know
so put a label into like 3 words.
Okay. I want to be physically healthier. I want to consume more edifying material, whether it's video, conversations, books, things like that.
So, yeah, because that's a goal. So how could you put that into a label?
Okay, semantically autistic person. I want to read more. I want to draw more. I want to enjoy conversations more, and I want to make videos that I enjoy making like I used to. Yeah. I want to have more fun. Yeah. I want my energy source to come from inspirational, interesting curiosity rather than defensively fighting memes, all the bullshit and politics of the world. I used to kind of get a lot more energy from there. So yeah, the old labels. Yeah. I know. You?
Yeah, get fit again. Because like a few years ago, I was very fit. I want to get back there. And the social thing's going fine. So I'm already like more social. And I need to work on letting go. So I need to challenge my control freakness. Yeah.
Just decide that you're not a control freak. That's a big way. Like you just decide that you're not that label just to solve some of your control freakness.
Yeah, but see, I see for some people that works. For me, it doesn't, because I would be lying to myself. Like for me, it's more like I want to work towards being less of a control freak. Also, like being less attached to like outcomes and stuff. Mm-hmm. But that's something I need to work towards. Like I need to work on that like over time. Yeah.
Oh, I just thought of a couple more. I want to get better at active listening. because I think I'm kind of a bit lacking depending on situations and mood, right? But I want to get better at automatically being a better active listener and getting rid of ahs in my speech when I'm talking and being a better communicator. Yeah. So a few things.
Caro has a inaction cell.
That's basically guys that sit alone and don't do anything but complain about the world. Yet they don't want to do anything to provide a solution to their problems.
What about that one?
Which one? If everyone is dumb and writes like monkeys, it's not them who is the problem. You become the monkey regardless of any aesthetic argument. You need to talk like Mr. Beast. Yeah. If everyone's a certain way and you're not, you become the odd outcast. That's true. But also, when you try and talk with those groups and they talk the way they talk and they have the same problems that you don't have and you don't see, it is because of the way they talk, their labels, their beliefs, and their language and their lack of finding solutions and things like that. So I'm happy to be the odd one out and not have their problems. If I just want company, start talking like a chimp, I guess, and start flinging feces around and whatever. So. Yeah, I guess, but I respect elitism, especially academic or intellectual elitism, as long as it can kind of dance with everyday life and you can build a bridge between the average person. You know, I'm not a big fan of just an academic elitist and then also just a factory worker. I'm a big fan of the middle where most people live. Well, the well-spoken average person is kind of the mean that I'm talking about. Are you happy and content? That's the main question. And if not, what's the solution? Communicate better, speak better, stop listening to rap music. I got accused of being racist because I said I don't like rap music in a few videos ago.
In the comments, did someone say that?
Yeah, I think they inferred what do you know about rap music, or you haven't listened to enough rap music. I listen to plenty rap music at work. That's all I watch on pop radio. It's all rap music everywhere. Even modern music has got elements of rap and hip hop and stuff. And it's just stupid. I don't like it. And I guess, people don't like my music. I like EDM. I like progressive trance, and I like classical music. I like movie soundtracks and things like that. And people think it's either boring or just annoying or whatever. There's people that like really heavy metal music that I'm not a big fan of.
Yeah, everyone's got their own tastes.
But I think, I feel like people defend rap music. I know they love it, but they kind of accuse you of almost being racist if you don't, or you're a bigot if you don't. Trigger music, yes. Saying rap music is antithetical. Please explain. Oh, as in it's not music. Okay. Yeah, sometimes it's like they just want to say something in the track. So they're really just saying poetry and showing off with juggling words and then just putting a simple beat behind it, like a boom, boom, boom. And that's rap music. So it's really about like talking. It's not music.
But I think if you get so offended, by people not liking rap music, like there's obviously more behind it. Because obviously when I'm saying, oh my God, I can't believe you don't like sushi and stuff, and I defend sushi because I love it so much, obviously that's kind of like in a joking way. I know that people like different stuff. So yeah, there's more behind it than if you get
in our area, I've never met a guy, like once or twice I've run into a guy, I've listened to their conversations or talked to them. They drive like a lowered, hotted up car. They got their cap on backwards. They're wearing, really baggy basketball outfits. They're listening to Eminem or some rapper, some popular hip hop star on their through their stereo, And I have never encountered someone who says anything mildly, like, I can barely talk to them. It's almost another language. It's almost like another culture, another way of speaking.
Yeah, but I think that's why they get offended, maybe, because it's so linked to like a type of people that they think you're rejecting them or something.
All right, have we got anything else to say?
I don't get his comment. This is wall beating with a stick music.
That's right. I think he agrees with me about rap music. He doesn't like rap music either. Socrates also hated rap music. Short for Rhapsody. Oh, I thought you were joking. Spontaneous poetry is an ancient form of oral tradition. Oral tradition? The only reason the modern version is stupid is because of yahoos. Perhaps the words, if I can stomach the music and pay attention to the words, it is very creative. But all the window dressing, the music, the vocals, the yibbity-gibbity-gibbity, like, shut up.
I think the only rapper I've kind of liked is Eminem. But that's because a lot of his music is also a little bit, it's like rap and pop a little bit. So it's more like enjoyable to listen to. But yeah.
A lot of people who are into that music would say, well, it's because you're white, Stephanie.
You know what's...
That's why you like him. You're thinking about what you're going to say so you don't come off as racist, right?
No. No, it's not because... I don't know. That's a hard question. Because I don't think it's that. I think it's just that his music is also a bit poppy. And I like pop music. So I think that's why.
Yeah, the style of music, even if you didn't know his skin color, it is a more digestible, like a lot of his music is so varied that it's more digestible. You can get people to like rap music, whereas a lot of like hardcore rap and hip hop, they're really for the black community. Like you really kind of have to be in that culture. The sound, the references and all of that.
Yeah, because I think I liked Eminem because his music, it's like, it's half rap, half pop.
Yeah.
And that's why I liked it, because I like pop music. But like pure rap is just like, it's like you know those guns that just keep going? That's what it's like with words. It's like, it's not even music. You're just like yelling stuff at me. That's what it comes across, how it comes across to me. That's why I don't like rap music. But Eminem's a bit different because it's like half pop. And that's why there are some songs of his that are kind of fun to listen to.
Yeah, I feel like, again, why are we spending so much time on rap? But from some of the songs that are popular and you listen to the lyrics, the storytelling and that thing that he was describing in the music was really kind of beautifully described. Like he's trying to describe a frustration in life or something that happened, and he kind of did it in a whoa. That was a lexically beautiful way of describing it. So it's kind of very, very poetic, but it was a really good way of describing it. Whereas the other one is kind of like you said, like bang, 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 bang.
Yeah.
And a lot of people who are into rap, just because you can go bang, bang, bang in sound doesn't make it good.
No. You know what I was going to say earlier? I got distracted. You know the cringiest thing ever? Like, I can't, right?
You can't.
I just can't.
You just...
When people are on, like, podcasts or they're a guest somewhere or something, and they're like, oh, yeah, I rap, like, as a hobby or it's a side hustle or whatever. And then they're like, oh, really?
Show
us a little bit. It's the cringiest thing when people start rapping. Oh, I can't listen to it. It's so embarrassing. Oh, my God, I can't. Oh.
It's the verbal equivalent of vlogging on a busy city street.
No, it's worse. It's worse. Just like on the, you know, like I love watching like The Bachelorette and The Bachelor. And these people, these contestants, right, they come and they like sing they sing something for the bachelor, or like they play guitar and they sing a song. It's so cringy. Like if someone ever wanted to do it, if you ever sing to me, no, but you do it like in a funny way, but like in a serious way, it's so cringy.
Yeah, she's not a romantic kind of like in that cringe. Yeah. You know what I was just thinking? If I came across your profile without it seeing a picture of you and you didn't describe, and you were just like, I love reality TV, I watch these shows, I would have just swiped left on you. Just by like the entertainment you love watching.
Oh, I wouldn't put that on my profile though.
No, I know.
Yeah, but I think like just to go back to the singing thing, I think maybe only if you're like almost like a professional singer or something, and you are like legit really talented, and then if you like write like a romantic song or something, then it might be okay. But anything below that, I'm just like, don't.
But this is interesting, right? If someone was on a show and they go, oh, you know, I can rap, and you go, oh no, don't, it's cringy, right? Don't rap. Or someone goes, I can sing, you'll probably be less resistant. You wouldn't be like, oh, don't sing. You'll be like, oh, okay, let me hear.
It depends, I think. Yeah, and that's a difficult one because you don't know what level they're at. They might say, I'm so talented, and then they're like they can't actually sing.
Yeah. I think it's because we really don't respect rap and hip hop. That someone who's like, I'm really good, is like, oh, please don't. Like an amateur at something that even the professionals, I cringe. I cringe at the professionals, and you're going to do it in an amateur way, just please don't.
Yeah, I guess. But if someone's like, if there's like a woman and she's like, I can sing, I can mimic like Ariana Grande pretty well, I'd be like, really? And then I'd be interested in hearing something, you know? If it's like at a high level.
Yeah, nah. I've heard people like that in their profiles, like they don't show a picture and they're like, I'm like a cross between Angelina and something. And then you see them as like, whoa, what?
Yeah, but that's also a different scenario. Like if we're having a conversation with people and someone's just like, I can sing really well. And then if they like, if they sing a little bit, like that's a different scenario from rap, first of all. Rap is way more cringy. But like in a romantic situation, that's cringy. I wouldn't want that. Also, that's like when people, that's also why I don't like when people sing happy birthday. To me, it's like really cringy. Because it's like aimed at you and you're just supposed to like
So that's interesting because sometimes you do like attention and other times you really don't like attention. Hey, Luke. Jean-Antoine Condé said, I'm referring to acronyms to casual everyday language, not technical when they're useful. They don't make the language easier. You need to be deciphering what new acronyms mean. Yeah, I agree. It's different if that there's a common new word to replace an old one, or it's more efficient, or we can communicate better. Yeah, I know what you mean, Jean-Antoine, because it's they can't communicate clearly. They'll say, you know, whatever, and like we vibe together, and like, you know, what it's like, what are you saying? You're trying to make me feel something by repeating the same 5 words over and over again and saying, like, you know what I'm saying? You know what I mean? It's like, no, I don't. Learn to communicate properly. Bloody, bloody, blah. Know what I mean? Know what I'm saying? It's like, I don't. You still need to be able to communicate properly. So, yeah, I agree with that stupid stuff. And acronyms are even worse. I can't be bothered saying a sentence. Let me just say, you know, LOL or something like that. Laugh out loud. Rather than, that was funny. I laughed out loud.
I'm getting hungry.
I don't care. I sound like Jim Carrey on Dumb and Dumber. I don't care. When he had the cowboy hat on. Everything should become acronyms. Ideograms are a superior form of writing. Phonics are captured by elitist busybody. Really? Just imagine a life where we're all like that. No. This is another theory that I don't think works.
Oh, my butt hurts.
No. All right. let's end whatever this is. Labels. And that's it, yeah. What are you going to do today?
I'm going to eat something. And then, do you still want to go to Aldi?
Yes. Yeah, let's do that. I forgot about that.
Yeah, and tonight I'm going to have sushi with some work colleagues. So that'll be fun. Yeah.
I'm going to have a guy's night, stuffing myself with pizza on the couch.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Karu, I'm going to think of you when I enjoy all the sushi. Because you don't like it.
Take a photo. Take a selfie with some sushi, and we'll send it to him.
Oh, we'll probably take some pictures.
He can throw up. Well, yeah. Karu likes pickled cabbage and that kind of Eastern European food. I was sick. I didn't like that. I grew up with some of that food. Wasn't for me. All right. See everyone. See you, Boffin. Thanks, everyone, for joining us. It was fun. Yes. Universally. I think most people like pizza, don't you think? And sandwiches. Or at least they don't hate them. If you came across someone like, oh, God, pizza, I hate it. I hate pizza.
Yeah.
I hate sandwiches. Yeah. That's a red flag. Don't marry that person.
Think of your husband. What do you mean? Oh, like when I'm having sushi. Yeah, it was a joke, obviously, Karu. I'm joking. I don't even know what you look like. I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
That's right. I think I said I'll show you a photo because I know what Karu looks like. He says, no.
Because sometimes you have like an image.
She likes your voice. She likes your voice.
I like your voice, yeah.
Yeah. So don't ever... Like Karu is like most of us, we don't like our own voices. I
think it's also because his name, that's not his real name, right? Or is it?
No.
It's like kind of an alienish name. So like I don't want to know what you look like.
I think it's based off an anime character. Anyway, we're blabbing.
We should have the next stream should just be blabbing. Us blabbing about stuff.
Well, we can have some of the guys on. Let's have some of the regulars on, maybe next stream, and we can get everyone talking. As long as it doesn't become one of those podcasts where everyone's screaming over each other, and I don't want it to become all ghetto.
No, but your followers aren't like that.
That is true. My followers don't listen to rap music. All right, let's get out of here. Go and live in the real world. Enjoy your weekend. What is it here? It's Friday morning.
Afternoon,
12:30 in the afternoon, Friday. And it's probably very late at night not very late at night. It is for people in Europe, but in America. Bye.
Bye.
Bye. Ciao.